Okay, we just came from Hill 60. We're going now to the museum Hooge Crater. Well, what the Americans say, the museum Hooge Crater. How do you say it in English?
The Hooge Crater.
The Hooge Crater. Yeah, they're
High crater.
the high crater. Yeah.
Big
So it's a museum. It's a restaurant and stuff. So we'll probably have something to eat there or not. And we're going in and I'll show you some stuff in the museum. Marcel is also vlogging for his channel. So I'll put a link in the description if his video is already up. Otherwise probably. It'll be yeah, probably earlier than me. Probably I'll put a link of his video in the description. Otherwise his channel, so check him out.
Thanks, man.
Cripple. By the way, we're walking into the museum with like 4 cameras in our hand. And probably the museum is like, oh, you can't film here, you can't film here. So we probably have to bring back the cameras. But we'll see if we can film. If not, you'll see nothing. If so, you'll see something.
What are they going to do? They're going to sue us?
Yeah.
I know they did that with a bunch, like what the Scottish, like they're all just like 1 Scots, 2 Scots. They had the bright red.
Despite the fact that they're French.
And that too, yeah.
This is going to be
So this is something you usually don't see in museums, but here you can see the lice and the fleas that were in the trenches, of course, which is something that isn't really spoken about a lot in World War I history. But man, like, so all those fleas and lice were, of course, very, very annoying in the trenches. And you had like the diseases, the rats, like literally infections. It was so brutal in the trenches in World War I. If there is one war I could choose to not be in, it would be World War I, 100%. But also the pigeons, of course the horses that were used, the rats, dogs, like animals in World War I had it were in the same conditions as the humans were. And you don't hear that as well a lot about animals in World War I. And a lot of animals were used in World War I.
Yeah, I have a long way to go, don't you?
Especially now stole your Royal Field Artillery one.
Here you can see a anti-tank weapon. It's a Mauser. It's what the Germans used against the British armor. You can see how big and bulky it is. And as well, if I zoom in on the round, it's really big. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but this is really cool. It's a part of a British Mark IV tank. How cool is that? It's the here, you can see it. It's the front part there that you can see here. Big tanks, big vehicles. So the high recoil of the rifle was very hard on the firer. Sometimes even so hard that it was breaking the collarbone or dislocating its shoulder. That's how crazy these anti-tank rifles are. So these are all gas masks. You see the different gas masks? So in the beginning of the war, the French used like sort of wool protection for the gas, and they sometimes pissed on the fabric of the wool that they put on in front of their mouth. So they thought that would be protective of the gas that the Germans used, but it totally wasn't. It was ineffective. Then the Germans came. One German was captured by the French, and they saw that he was using the gas mask that we know today. So the French saw that, and the British and stuff, the Allies saw it, and they were like, wait, this is way better. So they copied exactly the gas mask that the Germans used. And now this gas mask design is used still today. So here you can see different designs of gas masks that they used before. Let me see, there's even more. Here you have this. These ones. Even these ones. It's crazy. I think this wasn't for gas. I think this was for like firefighters that had this. And what I meant with the cloth of wool, I think that's a cloth of wool that they use, and you can see it's French. That's what they used in the beginning of the war to put over the mouth, and sometimes they peed on it to thinking that it would hold the gas back, but yeah, it didn't. Here as well, look at this one. That's one crazy. Of course, it wouldn't be Sandificate history if I don't do this. As well as eine deutsche Stahlhelm. Jawohl.
Auf der einen.
British Tommy, mate.
British Tommy, mate.
You fucking what, mate?
You what, mate?
You what? You talking to me, mate? It suits you, man.
It's way too big. I look like the guy from Spaceballs.
Yeah. This picture says it all. So in World War I, there weren't only men in the service, there were also women in service. And they were usually nurses or helped in the kitchen and stuff like that with cooking foods for the men who were fighting at the front lines. But yeah, there were also a lot of women in World War I. This is also something you would not think about during war, but of course when it rains and you have all these trenches and you have these craters and stuff like that, the rain will go into the trenches and it will stay there on the bottom. So what they had was these type of pumps to pump the water out of the trenches into the shell holes next to the trench. So yeah, that's something you don't really immediately think about when you think about trench warfare. Now we're talking. Some weaponry. Here you see a small, what was it again? Was it the French?
Yeah, it's the artillery carbine I think they used to use.
Oh yeah, it's French. So these were small rifles, carbines, and they only had magazines of clips with 3 shots, 3 bullets. As you can see here, there's a clip with 3 bullets in it, and that went into this little gun. That's crazy. So you see all the balls in that one. So these type of shells would explode mid-air above the trenches, and all those little lead balls would go and fall on the people in the trenches. So if you wore a helmet, that it didn't really help against those lead balls falling on your head. We are planning to do some relic hunting as well here in Ypres or in the Somme. And my guess is that we will probably find one of those lead balls. Here are a lot of fuses from artillery shells. So many different fuses. British, French, German. It's crazy. Grenades. Here, this is what we found in a rifle of a grenade. This is what we found last time in Verdun. I will show you the clip here. You see that?
Oh yeah. Just throw it.
No, I'll leave it here,
One grenade, wasn't it?
Yeah, we found that in,
Yeah.
we picked that up and we found multiple from them on the field.
You picked it up and I ran the other way.
So I'll show you that clip now of me picking it up and us finding it. It's the video from Chris from Vlogging for History, which we did relic hunting in Verdun. So I'll show you that now. You see that?
Oh yeah. Just throw it.
No, I'll leave it here, Some bayonets. And as well some barbed wire traps or something. What did you call it again, Sean?
Caltrops. So they'd scatter them around and then men or horses, for instance, would put their feet on it and yeah, painful.
Yeah, you don't want to step on one of these in the trenches.
You have to be careful.
Wow, look at this. This is this box they dug up from somewhere. There's still all the bullets in there. That's crazy. So we just finished the museum, the Hooge Crater, the high crater, or I don't know how to pronounce it in English. But yeah, it's a great museum, great stuff. The guy who owns this museum, Niek, he really knows his stuff. He really knows a lot about WW1, and he knows how to portray history in the museum very well. So definitely check out this museum if you come to the Ypres Area. It's really a must-see. And there's also a cemetery in front of the museum, so also check that one out. So yeah, Niek, again, thank you, and definitely visit the museum, the Hooge Crater. Going to the Somme. Okay, in this video we are going to visit the sailing. Shut up, Marcel! So in front of the Hooge Crater, the museum, there is this cemetery of the British who fought here against the Germans. So the British line was first around here, I'll show you on this map. And further down the road here, at the Menin Road, there was the German front line. So literally on every British cemetery that you come on, you have this memorial monument in every British cemetery. It doesn't matter if it's World War I or World War II, they all have this stone with this saying on it. So this cemetery is way bigger than I initially thought. It goes out all the way to the back. And it's just crazy the amount of young lads who are laying here, and also older men of course, who are laying here who fought against the Germans. And it's pretty crazy. You can get a really good perspective of what the cost of war really is. And in between all these graves there are a lot of unknown graves. Here, as well as that one. It says a soldier of the Great War. There's so many in between all these graves.
So in my video on Polygon Wood, I highlighted the story of a soldier named Patrick Bugden, who was a Victoria Cross recipient from Australia, and this is his grave here. He, on 2 occasions when the battalion was held up by intense fire from machine guns, Private Bugden led small parties to silence the enemy posts. 5 times he rescued wounded men trapped by intense shelling and machine gun fire. Once, seeing that an Australian corporal had been taken prisoner, he single-handedly rushed to his comrades' aid, shooting and bayoneting the enemy. He kept fighting until he was killed. For outstanding bravery and self-sacrifice, he was posthumously awarded the Victoria Cross November 23rd, 1917.
4 soldiers, 4.
Yeah, he was saying that there's a bunch of those.
It's a load of the Devonshire Regiment.
Here you can also see war graves, unknown war graves. It has 3 soldiers laying underneath it, only known unto God. And here is one that has 4 soldiers in it.
3.
So,
Oh my gosh, that whole row.
so all these graves, there aren't just one person. A lot of them has like 4, even 5 people, young lads, underneath the gravestone. Wow, I was a little bit blind because this whole row, you had 3 soldiers, another 3 soldiers, 3, 4 soldiers, 4. Wow. That's just crazy. That's just crazy. More than 20 people lay here in like a section of 8 graves. It's crazy. So this grave was from Major Albert Lewis Stewart. And he did fight as well as in the Somme. On July 1st, 1916, he saw action at the Battle of the Somme. And for the action during the Battle of the Somme, Stewart was recommended for the Victoria Cross, but the award was not approved. He was killed in action on the 4th of October 1917 during the Battle of Broodseinde near Ypres here in Belgium. And he had been fighting at the Glencore Wood and was trying to seize ground from the Germans when he was killed. He was 28 and he is now buried here at the Hooge Crater cemetery in Flanders Fields, Belgium. And this is his photo. He was also an international rugby player. He played rugby for the country of Ireland. And now, after the war and during the war, got killed. And is laying here peacefully in his grave at the Hooge Crater cemetery in Belgium. So many graves. And just when thinking about the casualties of the Ypres salient here during World War I, only on the third battle alone, on both sides, there were more than 800,000 casualties, both German and Allies included, which is just a crazy amount to think about.
And this guy here is from the Devonshire Regiment, which is my home county back in the UK. Would have been my local regiment.
And then just imagine that if you were his age, born in the 1900s,
Yep,
could have been you laying here.
absolutely.
That's crazy, man.
There's a few around, they're all scattered throughout the Devonshires.
Mm-hmm.
And some Durham light infantry, which my great grandfather fought with. He was in the Somme.
Which we're going to next in a few days.
Yeah, so I'll step in his footsteps, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
wow.
he survived the war, so he was one of the lucky few.
That's crazy. Here again, a row, 3 soldiers, 4 soldiers, 4 soldiers, 4 soldiers. That's just crazy.
And so Rob and Chris have both informed me that just off from the cemetery where the lines were, was where flamethrowers were first used during World War I. Terrifying weapon, that's for sure.
Yeah. So, like Sean said, that the flamethrowers were used here for the first time in the war. And the thing is, World War I was such a big scale war that so much military development was happening during World War I and tested out, like gas, shotguns, all flamethrowers and stuff. And those stuff were also used like in World War II, and there's still stuff that's used even today, like what was made or developed in World War I. You got Marcel over there filming his video. You have Rob filming a video for his channel. And I think, yeah, way over there you can see Chris is also filming for his channel. It's it makes me feel good that like people like me and Marcel, Rob, Chris and JD who are filming this type of stuff in their free time and sharing history with people on YouTube. And the people like you who are watching this video, they get more perspective and more knowledge, and you know, we all understand why it's so important to share history with people. So stuff like this, all the guys who are laying here, is never ever going to happen again. But sadly still, you know, it still happens today. When you look at Ukraine and Palestine and all that stuff. So it's not that we all have learned from wars like where these guys died in. You can see people who are working for the Commonwealth are working on the graves to keep it all clean and nice. Because just look at this whole cemetery, all the flowers, it's all so clean and nice. And some of the graves are a little bit dirty, of course. They need to be need to get cleaned, but you can see that the Commonwealth is still daily maintaining these type of cemeteries. That's the least what we could do for the boys. Yeah, I just filmed Sean there. He didn't see me filming, but it really, yeah, he is British and he is military, so probably for him walking around here of all these British graves, it does something to him. When we were in Oosterbeek as well, where the British fought in World War II during Operation Market Garden, when we went in those cemeteries, he was also really quiet. And when we went into the church, the old church, if anybody knows about the old church during Market Garden in Oosterbeek, it got pretty emotional. And for him being here is of course a double feeling than what I would have as a Dutch guy here. Yeah, really cool to see him standing here with his fellow mates.
The graves are next to each other.
Hmm?
As in the...
Yeah, they were living in California at the time. He living in California and went and enlisted in the Canadian Army. There's one of the guys from Edward Whittaker's regiment here. East Lancashire.
Here, look at this. 10 soldiers, 9 soldiers, 10 soldiers. There are 29 soldiers laying here in 3 graves. That's just mental. That's really crazy.
British West Indies regiment.
Yeah,
That's a
like
pretty
Jamaica.
rare one.
Here you also have 2 graves of tank corps. Gunner, gunner. So we just came out of the cemetery and we're now going to some trenches that are here next to the Hooge Crater. And yeah, look at this here. That's crazy, some shells and stuff
I think once you start,
on the former battlefield. All the shells, a bunker here, an artillery piece. And the thing here with the Ypres salient, there was a war, almost you could say static war, for almost 4 years. And the amounts of shells that has been fired here, you could probably estimate it that that's over 100 million shells. And probably around 1/3 of all those shells didn't go off. So they are still laying here on the ground unexploded.
The opening bombardment for that battle, just by the British, 4.5 million shells.
On the 3rd Battle of Ypres.
Just the opening bombardment
That's crazy.
for a battle that went on for months. And that was just one army, just one part of the battlefield. Crazy.
yeah, that's a dead end there. When you're supposed
So watch out, you don't step on any shells.
One of those.
to pick that piece of shrapnel.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Imagine that.
How thick? I mean, that would just tear you in half at the waist, right?
That will fly at you hundreds of kilometers an hour.
I think it will vaporize you.
Shovels as well. And one of the shields that they used in the trenches. They put that on top of the trench and they could shoot out of that hole in the shield. So they were protected while shooting across the trenches to the enemy. Let's go in. Oh, it's so dark. I can't see anything.
There's a light here, so.
Let's go out again.
Oh, you chicken, you didn't come out the good way. I came out over here.
I'll go in to the good way.
Okay.
Oh, this is so tight.
History, make sure you subscribe to this channel.
Look what I'm doing for YouTube. Oh. Goodbye, Chris. Oh, now my pants is all wet.
Now you have to walk home.
So, the Hooge Crater, the high crater, is named after this crater that was made with a bomb. and there were 500 Germans who died because of this explosion behind me here. 500 lives gone. And now there's still life inside the crater itself. Pretty cool to see ducks in there. Oh, and that's just moving concrete. A moving bunker. That's new German technology, I think. So here we have Rob from History in Your Hand, enjoying the battlefields.
The one and only, man.
The one and only. Oh my god, can I get an autograph?
No.
A handshake? No. It's the shells everywhere here. Crazy, you can even pick them up and then you can feel, oh, this one isn't that heavy. Some of them are very heavy. Crazy. Oh, would you look at this? A big trench line. That's cool. A recreated trench line. You can see all the mud in there. Just imagine what it would have been in 1914, 15, 16. Let's do a dumb joke on Rob. Rob!
Yeah, man.
Come here with your hand. Was that? No? Turn it around. I don't see any history in your hand, man.
Come on.
How bad is that?
Fuck off.
Trenches and trenches. We have Marcel from War History Cinema.
No.
History War Cinema.
Yeah. You don't even know my channel name. Come on.
What's my channel name then?
Send the VK History, of course.
There is literally shit everywhere here. Let's find the perpetrators. Here, everywhere there's shit.
in really bad shape, like diarrhea.
Aha! It's your fault that I stepped into sheep shit. It's probably your fault, eh?
I just need to go, man.
Is it you?
Just needed to go.
Just more and more shells. It's completely filled to the brim with shells.
To take a nap.
Aha! Aha, let's investigate. It was you, wasn't it? You're eating and shitting everywhere? Tell me. What's up? What's up, mate? You want some of this? You want some?
Hey!
So we just finished the whole day doing Hill 60, the Hooge Crater and all that stuff. So now we had dinner. Sean cooked us some dinner and breakfast as well. He's the head chef. So yeah, we're going live on the channel from Chris, the hot tub stream. So some of you might know it. And yeah, hot tub is warm. And let's do that now.
It's hot.
Starts in 15 minutes. There's already 20 people in the.
Really?
Really? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Sean, are you excited for it?
I didn't know it was happening today.
Okay, we'll do a hot tub stream. You'll probably see some highlights. I will show it you in a few seconds in this video. So, all right, cheers, guys.
I'm thinking we probably need it right. Like if I'm gonna put the phone
Oh, nice.
here, we're gonna need it right around the phone.
Nice, very nice,
Very nice.
very nice.
Oh, that's nice and hot.
Oh yeah.
Put the phone here.
So the live stream is done. We just started to watch a movie, which is also almost done. I'm going to bed now a little bit earlier. The guys are still watching the movie. It's called Hill 60. Pretty good movie. But I am just tired, and tomorrow morning it's early rise and shine again. So I'll see you guys on the next day.